Welcome to the Hockey Assist Network. I am your host, DJ Mitchell. To start the entire channel, we're going to start it up right now. Get right into it. Follow us at Assist Hockey on Twitter. This is it. We're going to get right into best ball. It's best ball season. It started, and I'm going to kind of do a 3-part series. Part 1 is just going to be going over what best ball is. And if you've never played and you don't know much about it, it's probably because it's a pretty new thing. And Underdog has really done an amazing job of making this product that has been a ton of fun for football and hockey last year. So we're going to get right into it on the Underdog website. I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like. Here is the website. I'm going to go right into the hockey, right into the first contest of the season, $10 entry, 2.8K entries. You can have up to 84 yourself and 25K in prizes. There's also some drafts down here if you just want to do more of your just best ball league type of situation. Some of those can be more of easy money if you get pretty good at this and you have a good strategy and want to throw some money in there. But we're going to focus on the Best Ball Classic, the big one, the granddaddy of the hockey season. And you can do the 30-second per pick or 8 hours per pick. Obviously, if you're ready to sit down and do a draft, get up to the 30-second. If not, understandable, 8-hour per pick gives you an option for a slow draft. And I start right here by just showing 84 max entry in this. That would be $840 if you're a crazy person. I'm going to probably hopefully get up to about 40 or 50 myself. Is a 11% rake, 16 rounds, and going over the prizes briefly here, because I'm going to cover it more later. They just kind of show you that there's 5K to first, and all that goodness, kind of adding like a GPP element to a traditional league. Now, I highlighted the 540. That's how many entries will move on after the first round from the 12-team leagues, because the top 2 move on from the qualifiers, which is going to start on October 12th and go to March 12th. And all of the following weeks will be the round of playoffs, if you will. This goes over the scoring, but it's a pretty easy thing to find on their website if you're interested. You do get scored for blocks and hits, so it might change up your Tom Wilson exposure. And then the goalies get wins, goals against, etc. Your roster, and you might be thinking 16 rounds. Well, I'm only playing 1 center, 2 wingers, 1 D, 1 goalie, 1 flex. Well, that's where best ball comes in, and that's really where I think it's a better product than the traditional leagues, because the roster will automatically select your best players out of that 16 player pool that you build in your draft. So your best players automatically score, and we're going to get right into the rules. We're not going to wait around. Like I said, Underdog, $10 entry, the big contest. You can obviously go through this if you want to read it word by word. Snake draft is the format, so you're the first pick. You're going to have the last pick in the second round, and there so after. It's all season, slow drafts, fast drafts. It kind of breaks down the very basics of what that means. 84 total entries. I kind of covered over that again because I thought that was important for some people that are kind of thinking about this as an opportunity to make a lot of money. And if you give yourself 84 different entries of different exposures, it's really going to change your chance of winning, obviously, but it gives you a chance to really get a lot of different fun stuff. So then I highlight here that there's no waivers, there's no substitution, there's no trades. Your team is your team. If your guy gets hurt, well, he's not going to score in any other weeks. This is probably the next thing I highlight, is probably the most important part of the whole thing to understand. It's that every single week, which is not exactly by the calendar dates of 1 week, and you'll see that in a minute, but every week that they put into play, your starters will get picked automatically for you, as I mentioned. So if your best center scores, let's say it's Austin Matthews 1 week, that week's going to end. He's kind of going to go back to 0 for the following week, and all those points will have accumulated. And next week, let's say it's Jack Eichel on a new team, hopefully, and he scores the most points. So that's kind of how this is going to work for you. It'll automatically pick your starters. There's no, tilting that you didn't start someone for no good reason. It makes it just really easy because you don't have to be on every single day making your changes. Underdog will do it for you. Best roster will score. This goes over round 1, 2, 3, and 4. How many teams will be there? So that last round of 12 for the grand prize, I'm hoping to be there myself. And then it just kind of goes over the total amount of entries is actually 2,808, barring that it fills. And I'm really hoping it does, because I think it'd be a lot of fun for everyone. So this, again, breaks it down into much more details. And, I just highlight the 468 entries that will move forward from round 1, then 72 into different leagues. So if you win your league or come in second in round 1, you'll move forward in round 2 and be reassigned to a new league of 12. And then that'll happen again in a league of 6, and that'll happen again if you make it that far in the championship game into a final round of 12. This goes over the total schedule, which I kind of already covered, but like I said, this goes a little bit into more detail week by week. So we're going to start with day 1, the 12th of October. And it really does go pretty consistently week to week until we get to 17. And that is because of the Olympic break that they're scheduling in. So pretty much all of February, actually literally all of February, but like one day, it's going to be all covered in week 17. I'm not sure if there's going to be a big edge from that. Like I mentioned, we're going to do, me and Matt together are going to kind of do like a podcast on all of this to cover what best ball is, what our strategy is, how we're looking at this. Still trying to get some data to help us with that. And then the scoring is, again, just look into it yourself. It's not really worth going over in this. It's goals and assists and all that fun stuff. Tiebreakers. So it just goes first tiebreaker is your highest scoring overall starter that was actually in your lineup. And then if they are the same person, which could happen in the playoffs, because if Austin Matthews scores 50, he might be in a lot of the teams that move on. So then it'll be your first bench player. This whole thing here kind of just goes over the round advancements, and that's pretty obvious. Multiple entries, it just goes over obviously that you can have a ton of entries all over the place, and if multiple entries of yours get into different rounds, they try not to put them together. And then the prize pool, it comes up again here. The first place 5K and so on, as I pretty much already made pretty clear how this works. It's basically a combination of taking a traditional league and putting a GPP type of prize pool together. It's super fun. It makes it a little more interesting. Obviously, the downside is if you win your league, you're getting $16 back on 10, which sucks. And then if you lose in the next round, it's oof, I made $6. Congratulations. But we're all in for the top prizes, and that's what it's all about. Just a new way of gambling, a new fun way of putting money on the line as long as it's legal in your state. And then this just goes over the collusion and stuff like that. Obviously, people will join leagues with their friends, and their friends may let them draft the players they want. And if you suspect collusion, you can always reach out to the Underdog team. I had one in NFL that I reached out to them about. I said, I think this is a bit suspicious. A guy drafted like 5 quarterbacks in the first 100 picks, and they actually canceled it. They did cancel the entry. Got my money back for that one and just re-rolled it in a new league. So it will happen, so just be mindful of it. If you see it, the league might get canceled, and it is a waste of time, and that part does suck. But other than that, it's really fun. And the last thing that they kind of show is, if a player gets traded, they're just going to make points on their new team, but if they retire, they're gone. So that, try not to look too deeply into that. Maybe don't draft Tuukka Rask or something, but we're going to get into all of that fun stuff later. But this is the first episode, so definitely leave a rating, a review. Let's get this channel going. If you found this and you're listening to it, I guarantee you're probably a friend of the podcast, a friend of the Mail Media Network or Morning Skate Podcast. So thank you so much. If you subscribe to this channel, it would mean the world to me. And, I'm excited about this. I think that we have a really good opportunity to grow a very fun brand. And instead of all of the stuff me and Matt has been doing being just audio, we're trying to bring it visual. And I think it's been something that people have asked for, and we never really got around to it. So I think it's finally time that we bring you the video of what we're talking about. And this is it. This is going to be the channel. You're going to see a lot of hockey highlights, a lot of different situations that are going to bring, a new element to how we're going to be gambling in DFS. And instead of saying like, oh, this player has this Corsi, I'm going to try to show you like why I think that's happening. It'll be fun. So without further ado, please rate, subscribe, share, do all that fun stuff. I'm going to be bringing a ton of content, way too much content. So thank you again for the first listen, and enjoy the best ball drafting.